Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023-2024 Armchair Fantasy Football Video Recap.
What I got, you got to give it to you, Papa. It's too white and nerdy. Wow, thing. If everybody had Don't sweat the technique. Best friends forced to do battle.
The championship ring is cast in 24-karat white gold and enshrined with 34 sparkling grade A diamonds, all of which were imported from Bangkok, Thailand.
G-Love, you've inspired many people with your ability to push the boundaries of fashion. Here are a few examples. Check it out. Now, fantasy football and fashion do not coincide, but you've managed to pull it off. Who or what was your inspiration behind this? Good question. So I'll tell you what, this was years and years ago. I was with my great-great-grandfather. He sat me down. He looked me right in the eyes and said, G-Love, you look good, you play good. And that stuck with me. That stuck with me. Take a look at our commissioner, Nate Chadwick. I am disgusted by what he wears. The dude is wearing a suit coat with sweatpants and sandals. Come on. Trent Bowen should slap him with a misdemeanor. So how would you describe Aaron Palmer's understanding of fantasy football?
You know,
he's from another country.
Yeah. There's a word that a lot of teenage girls use, and the word is basic.
You'll see me at the top again next year for sure.
You've been on the tail end of a lot of jokes over your age and country of origin.
When I talk to him in private, because I have talked to him several times, he's come to me for suggestions, for guidance. So the first thing that you have to focus on with people like him is, okay, do you understand the difference between Canadian football, American football, hockey? All three of those things. For him, it's one thing.
Yeah.
So when I'm able to separate those three things and focus on just one thing, that's when he goes from basic to maybe up here, just a little bit higher. So
he also posted a picture of, I believe it was Shakira, and stated, listen to this. He says about you, his hips don't lie, just his ankles and back, referring to you and your injury history.
It really is funny. But the fact is, all these youngins against the senior person, next to your league, I'm on top.
I'm fueled off of the tears of my haters.
Cameron Crook, of looking over his shoulder during the draft and stealing some of his soon-to-be picks.
You know, this guy, Cam, is no Mel Kiper Jr., more like a Melania Kiper Jr., and maybe even a Mel Swiper, because when I look back at my picks, I had people down listed that I was about to draft, and like the next thing you know, Cam is picking the guys that are the top of my draft board.
How do you respond to that type of accusation? Is that true?
First off, not true whatsoever.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with taking picks or stealing picks from Andrew Nicole. There's no reason for that. No one would even want his picks. What did he finish? Did he finish last? Was it dead last?
Nice, but continue.
I think that claim is unjust, unfounded, and quite frankly, a little disrespectful. I'd expect someone of his caliber to lose with grace. Oh, no one has made fun of me to my face for being young. But the fact that I have all this hair, I think is, it's worth being young.
When I look up and down the roster, you know, I can assure you there are a lot of losers in this league. The thing that separated the winners from the losers ends up being arbitrary and capricious. In my country, where I come from, when something is that close, you recount the votes. I'm not gonna listen to the dads, Brads, and Chads. You know,
You brought your 12-year-old son Griffin with you to assist you in the draft night.
Griffin shows up to class. Griffin goes about things the right way. So if anybody's gonna come after a kid, you know, I find that unacceptable. So come after me, okay? I'm a man. I'm 40. You get me? Write something about me.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40! I'm not a kid! Write something about me!
I do need to, you know, take a step back and take this, you know, opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody. Because Ocular Dominance says and does whatever he wants. The guy that won the league, Deposition Crew, you know, he's back and forth from Washington, D.C. recently, and we just got to drain the swamp.
You know, I'm really in this for the long game. Okay. You know, a lot of you guys are playing checkers, and I'm playing chess. You know, you may be familiar with the 1994 Classic Maverick. He's playing a game of cards and purposely losing, so he can start to see the tells of all the other players at the table.
Yeah.
So he knows when they're lying. He knows exactly what their next move is.
That's your game, huh?
You know, like I said, I'm playing the long game here.
Many have questioned your credibility for predicting game outcomes. I even heard the statement, if Michael predicts I'll win, I'm most certainly going to lose. Brett Palmer said this. He said, your predictions are the kiss of death.
Because every time he selected me to win, my team played horrendously bad.
Well, talking about Carnegie's picks, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So I think Carnegie's about the same.
For the most part, I was about 85% accurate.
Did you crunch the numbers?
Yes, I crunched those numbers. If you take that to Vegas, that's a sure thing. I mean, that is a lock. Was I playing some mental games? Yeah, I was. I mean, that guy, I don't know what he was doing in our league. It was, yeah. It was out of sympathy, because he looked lost.
Okay.
So we play pickleball every week, and a lot of times he and I would talk out in the foyer and just privately, we're not recording, right? But he would get emotional about it because he didn't know what he was doing. So I tried offering him some insights, just some analysis right on the spot. So
yeah.
A lot of people probably looked at that analysis, the stuff that I was sending out, and probably thought, "Oh man, it would take me 10 hours to do this kind of thing."
Yeah.
Not me. No.
There's been some accusations. Aaron Palmer accused you of use of ChatGPT.
ChatGPT helped him so much.
Is that true?
No, that is 100% wrong.
Okay.
And that is defamation. So I'm not sure if I know my lawyer's over here up there, so maybe we can.
Okay.
Yeah, he's giving me the nod. So yeah, we'll look into that. But that's absurd. I mean,
who was having the most difficulty grasping?
I don't know. I don't know if it was Andrew Noble.
Okay.
I mean, he's an optometrist, so he is so far out of his depth, and he mentioned that several times. He's like, "I'm just an optometrist," and I tried to be welcoming and I tried to help him. He never got it.
League members have said, I don't care who wins, as long as it's not Michael. That's got to hurt a little bit, I would imagine. What do you say to that?
That doesn't hurt. That's how they show respect in this league.
Mike Batista, the man, the myth, the legend. Several league members have called you out, accusing you of auto-drafting.
Anybody that auto-drafts, I'm going to come back to that. Anybody that auto-drafts, yeah, I like beating the pants off of that.
So Mike Batista, we want the truth here. No joking around. Serious truth. Did you auto draft?
First of all, call me either the man, the myth, or the legend. Second, to your question, no, I did not auto draft. Now, I couldn't get to the draft party or draft selection process night or whatever your get together was because I was really busy. Okay. My best player was auto drafted, but that's it.
G-Love, now you've received a lot of pushback on your name, Gangster of Love. Andrew, in fact, stated this. He said, quote, Gangster of Love's team may not be gangster enough. Like he is more Kenny G than Warren G, unquote. He also attached this video. Check it out.
Regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy.
How do you respond to that criticism? Yeah, Danny, I did see that video and I was not happy about it. Nobody questions my gangster style. I'm G-Love. Now, Andrew may have thought that tooth incident was an accident. No, I got my boys together. That was no accident. That was a straight up hit job. I think he's learned his lesson. I don't think we're going to be seeing any more videos like that in the future. Do you feel that Michael's predictions and recaps were accurate?
I think the recaps were pretty accurate, but his predictions were awful. Don't draft injured players. Don't pick players that are going to be on injured reserve all season long. Well, I like to just let the scoreboard speak for itself.
One league member said, wild thing? More like, mild thing. How do you respond to that?
It really doesn't offend me because I'm somewhat mild and I save my wild for a select few.
Wild thing!
You have broken the gender barrier within the Armchair Fantasy League, being the first woman to have competed within the league.
In the Armchair Fantasy Football League, we do pride ourselves on being anti-progressive. In fact, in our offices, we ban the words diversity, equity, inclusion. So it speaks to Wild Thing and her accomplishments in being able to break that gender barrier. Some even call her the modern day Billie Jean King of fantasy football.
And do you consider yourself the Billie Jean King of fantasy football?
And normally I would say that breaking barriers is difficult work, but I feel like there are a lot of ladies in this league already. So I just don't think it's a big deal.
Because you drafted players based on their looks, whether you thought they were hot or handsome. That's true?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And let's say I was an NFL player. Would you draft me?
No.
Wild thing, I think I love you.
Trent, congratulations. Everyone in the league has been pretty complimentary of you and your championship win. So leading into the championship game, you and Brian were nearly at a deadlock tie going into the championship round. How did you feel going into that game?
Well, it feels great, you know. I mean, look at this thing, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that is.
Right? I will say Mike ruined it a little bit, you know. He definitely, you could tell his heart was not in the presentation, in the ceremonial aspect of the transfer. Definitely a beautiful thing to get. I was surprised at what a nice looking ring it is.
Yeah.
Again, especially since Mike picked it out, like, you know, you don't think he's going to have good taste, but this was pretty good. People say, you know, what do you use to make you so good? I say AI. And I say, no, not artificial intelligence, actual intelligence. And if anybody had it, that they would be able to do as well as me. So I welcome your hatred and your attempts to ridicule me. The record speaks for itself.
Trent is somebody that you've got to be careful of because when you look at him, you think, oh, that's the guy who could just trip down some stairs, you know? You don't think of him as having any sort of football knowledge or sport knowledge.
In this case, I think that his attempts at trying to knock me down are really just a cover for
a lot of admiration underneath.
Trent, I'd like you to finish this sentence. Trent Bowen is a
force of nature. And I want everyone to be thinking that when draft time comes, on a week-to-week basis as we go into the next season, I want to ring in people's ears. I want them sleeping and not being able to sleep because they keep hearing that over and over in their heads.
I hear it right now.
Just look them in the eye and just say, scoreboard.
Perfect. Trent Bowen, congratulations. Well played, well done. Champion. Thanks for meeting with me.
Thank you for having me.